Well, hello, everyone. It's your girl, Gabrielle. Welcome to a brand new episode of Hot Topics. Some of my destinations have errors. Oh, sorry, I seem to be having some. Okay. Well, let me tell you what this show is about. So, this is the show where we like to have real talk about real things. And let me tell you, when things happen, you gotta just go with the flow sometimes, right? You gotta just keep it pushing and keep it moving. And that's what this show is about, keeping it pushing, keeping it moving, and rising above all the odds. So, this is the show where we like to have open dialogue about things that are important to us. The whole intention of this show is for you to be better than you were before, right? So I want you to learn something from these episodes, you guys. And today is no different. So let me tell you what the topic is for today. So bear with me as I am on my phone. All right. So the topic today is Resiliency Part 7. So this is the seventh installment of this topic, resiliency. I love it when I bring back topics. I get to show multiple perspectives of the same topic. So I'm bringing back resiliency, you guys, Part 7. And let me tell you who the guest is who is going to sit on the hot seat. His name is Terrell Morgan. And let me tell you, he developed the business from the ground up. He had to hustle to get to where he is today. And that's what he's all about. He went through his trials and his tribulations, but he went down under and he had to come right back up, and that's what he's going to talk about. He's going to talk to you guys about the hustle. He's going to talk to you about his background and how, even when the odds were stacked against him, he still had to rise above that. So that's what my guest is going to talk about today. All right, so without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and bring him to the stage. Hi, Terrell. How are you doing today?
What's going on, Gabby?
It's a lot of craziness going on, but we got to keep going. All right, so you have an amazing story, and I would love for you to share it with our audience. So, the topic is resiliency. Please tell us your story.
I'm definitely a resilient person. My story is mostly, man, convicted felon, trying to make a change and do what most people want to do is succeed in life. And uh, been to the penitentiary 4 times and did a lot of juvie time. And my last go round was just time to stop doing what I was doing to get me where I was at because I was missing out on life. And uh, I caught a DUI, couple of DUIs, two. I went to the penitentiary for a year, 6 months. Uh, I came back home in 2013 with an idea of trying to figure out a way to make something out of nothing. So I started a blog in 2013. It was mostly copy and paste because I had helped when I'm homegirl set up a blog, and uh, I was just trying to find a way, copying and pasting hip hop news. Like most people, most blogs do. That's how they start, copy and paste, and trying to figure it out. And I had an idea to come up with a way to make some money from the blog, which was to put the blog on T-shirts. And I put the blog. Now I went down on Roosevelt. If you're from Chicago, you know what a T-shirt store at on Roosevelt and Harrison down there. Bought a box of T-shirts for $75. It was 100 T-shirts in the box. I sold one T-shirt for $25. Then I sold another one for $25. So I was really halfway through making my money back, and it dawned on me that this might be the way. So I figured out that T-shirts would be a decent hustle. So I learned about T-shirts and vinyl screen print. I didn't really get into uh, DTG because it costs too much, direct to garment. Uh, it's another one called sublimation. I didn't get into sublimation because I didn't like the style of shirt. There's only one style of shirt, that polyester stuff, that I just didn't get into it. So I just went with vinyl and screen print, and before you know it, the box was gone. Outside of me making my own, because you have to wear your own brand to make people believe in what you believe in, or get people to see that you're trying to do something different or whatever. After that, I had got married in 2004, so I was coming off a 6 year penitentiary stint. Oh man, I don't like to talk about it, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And I got married in 2004. I already had 2 kids, and I had 2 more kids after the marriage, and I just was determined to not lose again. And after 10 years of marriage, get caught up. And right now, I've been in business since 2013. I started a photography business in 2015, fly photos, where I was just taking pictures. I bought a camera just to take pictures of shirts. Because, the cell phone camera wasn't like a huge thing. It wasn't like it is now with all these megapixels and you trying to get a good picture in the angle. So I bought a real camera, started doing photography, and right now it's 10 years t-shirts, 8 years photography. Life is good. I can't complain. Uh, what else? What else? What else? I'm stuck right now, but I don't know. Just resilient, just not giving up and being determined and focused on keeping the business going. It's a lot that goes on with running the business, and I don't even know where to begin or start with that part of just running the business. Because I come from I don't want to say, I come from a drug dealer mind state, so everything is like selling drugs. And if you got a good product, people will come and buy it. So that's where my mind state come from. Selling t-shirts is like selling drugs, but I don't know if that's good for your audience or whatever.
Well, this is hot topics, right? We gotta say it like it is, and
Yeah,
I think it's and a lot of drug dealers, if we think of it in the technical terms, right? We could think about them as entrepreneurs, right? Because they have a product that they created and they're selling it to people that they know will buy it,
yeah,
right? They have their loyal customers. They have a specific location where people come to them, and they have to make financial transactions. They have to count their money, right? Track where all the money's going, right?
yeah.
So drug dealers act like entrepreneurs.
That was the first sign of entrepreneurship, to be honest, because we had a product, even though it was illegal. It just most people flocked to that because it was an easy way to earn a buck. And for me, being a felon, t-shirts was like harmless, and never got into like the biggest thing that people worry about with t-shirts is like copyright infringement. So it's like you just come up with your own ideas, your own saying, and if they like it, you know, they will buy it. That old saying, if you build it, they will come, is my mentality of how I started the biz.
So you brought it up a couple times about being a convicted felon. We also
Mhm.
talked about it in our preliminary interview. Can you talk more about that?
In early 90s, it was rough, like 15, 16, 17. Caught so many cases where it landed me in jail. And my last case, caught a case, a drug case in 97. I got out. They gave me 1 year or 3 years. They gave me 3 years. I did 18 months. I got out in 99 and I went back because I came back to the same environment. and caught another case, and they gave me 6 years on that possession of a stolen motor vehicle, and I did 3 years off of that. And after that 3 years, it was like it's time to quit, trying to figure it out. So I went in. When I came home, my kid's mama propositioned me to figure out what I wanted to do, and I said, "Let's just get married, and I promise I'm gonna try to do right." Got back in my kid's life, and became a father. And well, I was already a father, but you know what I'm saying. I became a full-time father, and taught them the ways and watched them graduate. I had two more kids, and um, in the process, had a child with a disability, Trinity. She 18 now. She got Angelman syndrome, and she was born with two of the same chromosomes, and two of the same chromosomes. It threw off her balance, her speech, and she 18 now. So if you know about raising kids with disabilities, it's a struggle. It's a hard thing to do, but it ain't over with. But we made it past the hardest part of seizures and hospital visits and not hearing any verbal coming from her. So that's one of my things that's on my jacket that say, if you go through things, you know what I'm saying? So we went through that. Got she 18, my youngest boy 17. I've taught him how to be an entrepreneur. He got two businesses, Tidy Bites and Tidy Gems, where he bake cookies for Tidy Bites, like sweets and cookies, cakes he's made, cheesecakes and stuff like that. And he make bead bracelets and all that. And I'm just, pushing forward, just being resilient, man, regardless of what come forth or what come your way. And yeah, that's basically, not basically, because it's a lot more. And I'm sorry.
That's all right. Take it.
But yeah,
All right. Take your time.
uh, right now, me and my wife been married 19 years. Next year, May 4th, May 1st, I'm sorry. Yeah. May 1st, next year, it'll be 20 years married. We've been together since, we've been together since 1992. Life happens, man. And we stuck it out and we made it different. My objective was to be better than anything I've ever seen. You know what I'm saying? As far as uh, growing up in the black community, your pops don't be around, or things happen, and you able to get into the streets and do a whole lot of stuff that you really don't need to be doing. So
So I mean, you had a lot of things going on, right? So you
yeah,
have your criminal record, and then you're starting a business, and then you're raising multiple children, right? One of which has special needs, and we even talked about before how you had a full-time job,
um, I left
right?
that, I left that out. I got married May 1st, 2004. I started my job at the university May 5th, 2004. So
Mhm.
I've been on my job 19 years, and that's a thing in itself too. Because you hear stories of people working and being married and staying the course, but you don't really see it. Well, I don't want to make it like I'm a unicorn, because there's a lot of other brothers that's out here doing some of the same things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you had this. Well, let's break it down, right? As we were talking about in the preliminary interview, you had this job for, I think, for about 11 years, and then that's when you
Right,
went
right,
to jail.
right. I had the job for 11 years. I started May 5th, 2004. I caught the DUI in like 20, 2010. So in the process of going to court, I was supposed to take a leave of absence, but superintendent didn't want to be under the hot seat and say, "I give you the right to go to jail," when somebody else could fill your position. So he's like, "Just resign, and when you get out, come back and get your job." When I came back, I had to sit like 15 months before I got my job back, and that's when I started the blog. So to wrap, bring it back. I started the blog as I was unemployed, trying to figure out a way to not feel like less of a man, because a man's supposed to earn. Because the Bible say if you don't work, you don't eat. So I had to figure out a way to eat. So I started the blog, but yeah, that was a hard time going through coming home knowing you had a job that was paying and you messed it up. So it was a lot of guilt, a lot of depression, but not really. But because you if you keep trying and trying and trying, you will figure out something. You keep planting seeds, something will grow. And I just knew I was gonna get my job back. And another thing I told you about when I got my job back, the pay was like because with UIC you start off at $11 and then you before I left you start at $11, then you work 2 years and then they take you up to the max, which was $18. But when I left, they had changed it and it was you got to work instead of 2 years, they took it to 4 years. So I had to work 4 years to get back to the maximum pay. And you get yearly raises or whatever because you was in the union. And it just was like a suffering thing where you go back and you was making $18, but when you go back, I still had my seniority, 10 years or whatever, and I'm only making what the newbies make, which is like a punishment. But I just was like, if I want to put myself in that position, what I'm saying, to go to jail, then I want to have to deal with working for $11 for 4 years. But I stuck it out. My wife stuck it out, and the business picked up. And you have to learn what advertising is, and but I mean, from a street pharmacist perspective, is advertising is good product, and I was putting out good product, and to be in business 10 years is speaks for itself, right? I think.
Absol- I mean, absolutely. Right? You were running a business while raising a family. Were you having issues with the marriage? Was
Um,
there marital issues?
no marital issues, just the struggle of not being able to pay this, not being able to pay that, and uh, no real issues about anything. It's just struggle of two young people trying to make it better for the kids because that's who it's about, the kids. And like I say, I mean, my oldest is 29. My second boy is 24, 25. I'm a little old, 17 and 18. So, and the only real issue was with Trinity, which was a lot of hospitalization and things like that. So it was no major issues about that. And right now, we just bought a house in Evergreen Park. You know what I'm saying? 2021, built from the ground up. It's just a lot of dedication goes into things like that when you really want to do something. And we wanted a house, and we grew up with my grandma had a house, and I wanted to be like better than what I've seen. Like I said, I wanted to be better than what I've seen from just to be doing better than my mom and pops. I think that's the biggest dream that most parents have, that your kids do better than you. And
Right. You wanted to fulfill, the dreams of your parents, right?
yeah, yeah,
You wanted to set an example for your own kids, right?
yeah.
So do you think so thinking about your life and thinking about today, do you think you accomplished that goal?
Oh, very much so. Very much so.
Okay. Tell us more.
Very first just buying a house is just a thing you go through because nobody taught how you go buy a house or what you're supposed to do. And what I'm saying, just going up over a hill like that, trying to figure out what I mean with social media, it seemed like it's so easy because you got so many people saying they teaching you how to do this and do that, giving you
Mhm.
free game, and until you actually get in the till you actually get on the roller coaster, you never know how fast it going, what how it would take you and jerk you. So we went through that process. We had a good agent that walked us through a whole lot of things. And 5 bedroom house, 3 bedroom, 5 bedroom house, 3 bathrooms, 2 car garage, 5,000 square feet. Uh, it was a joy to actually go through it and go through it with somebody who you support. They support you through regardless of what you went through, because you never know. Nobody really knows your story until you tell it. And like I said, I don't want to make myself like I'm a unicorn now, and I'm the only person that went through it, but I actually did it and survived and still going. You know?
Yeah, yeah, I don't know about a unicorn, but particularly, if coming back to your criminal background, the fact that you are a convicted felon, the fact that not a lot of convicted felons return to the same job where they were previously,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And start their own business, right?
yeah,
And be able to pick their feet back off the ground. So I think you're unique in that way.
yeah, yeah. And is when I first started, right, at UIC, they hired me. And then like when I talked to HR, you speak on that question, do you want me to lie on the application or do you want me to tell the truth? Because I want to get it. Because I had a
Mhm.
couple of jobs where you lied on the application, they fired you, but this was like the last chance. I, they hired me, and then like I want to say 26, 24 days later, they come back and say you lied on the application, but I didn't, and they fired me. So that was like a heartbreaking thing, and on my beginning journey to becoming a model citizen, for lack of a better phrase. So what I'm saying, that was like a little hurt and a little pressure about getting fired, but I spoke to, and they brought me back in 19 years later. I'm solidified as a model citizen that works and showing my kids that it can be done, that regardless of what you go through and how you make mistakes, you can correct them. You know what I mean?
Right, right, right. And well, let's talk about how you were able to get the job back. What did you have to do?
Uh, I was attending church, Original Holy Ark, out on 52nd, 53rd and Morgan. And one of the ladies in there took to me, and she thought, because I told my story in church, and she thought I deserved a second chance, and sent me to meet one of her friends who was the superintendent, and she gave me a shot, and I proved that I could be, a stand up guy and work a job and not get back into the things of the past. So yeah, somebody put me on and gave me a job, and I made my value known, I think.
How did you do that? What steps did you take?
Basically fill out the application and go on the interview. UIC, they make you take a test. It's like I want to say 12, 15 questions where you have to make 100 on the test before they can make you permanent. And you get a permanent position and you get in the union, and is you hire because they had like a temporary thing called 900 hours where you work 6 months, but you're not a permanent
Mm.
employee. You just temporary. So I did 2 900 hours. On my first 900 hours, I took the test and I got like a 96. I missed one question. I had to go back and take it, but my 6 months was up, so I had to wait 6 more months. But I was just determined to get this job to bring home some money to be, be a man like men do. You bring home the bacon, you provide for your family. So I was determined to just figure it out. And I went back, and the next year, the next 6 months doing that process, I think I went back the first 30 days and took the test. I got 100. I got my position, and I picked my insurance benefits and all that for the kids and wife and all that. And I'm still going today.
Good for you. Good for you. Right. So you didn't let those shortcomings hold you down.
Not at all. Not at all. I mean, because I believe if I can consistently go to jail multiple times, like 4 times, 4 felonies, I can consistently work a job. And when you go to jail, man, it's like you go to jail and you work for free almost. You get like $50 a month, but they have you. I was on in Stateville farm, not Stateville, I'm sorry, in Vandalia. We call it Clandalia. Man, they had us cutting the whole city of Clandalia area, like football fields, baseball fields. I don't even know if it was people's personal property, but we was cutting grass like the chain gang and just get paid $50 a month. And with that mind frame is, if I can survive in there off $50 a month, regardless if I came home and worked for $3, $5, I could survive anywhere on God's green earth off however much I'm getting paid. And that was my mentality of, if I can do it there, I can do it here in a free world, because you got more opportunities in the free world.
Do you think were you thinking like a drug dealer?
In jail? No, not in jail. I was thinking, do my time, come home, let nobody take you there to make you get more time for fighting or whatever. I was peaceful, but when I got a job, it was like, regardless of, the regular job is like 9 to 5, and it's the same in jail. But in jail is, you wake up when they tell you to wake up, you go to work. When they tell you to go to work, you get off. When they tell you to get to work, you take a lunch. And in the free world, you could take a lunch and you could take 30 minutes. They give you a 15-minute break. You could take an hour break in the free world, but in jail, like, you get a 10-minute break, you back to it. So it's mostly like slavery. So kind of sort of, but I mean, it stuck it out. It make you tough, man. And if you didn't like it in there, I think you don't like it. I mean, you don't like the constriction of what they telling you to do in the free world. You get a little more opportunity and do whatever.
So that so like how you were forced to work and you little breaks and you just had to keep pushing, keep moving. That mentality carried over into your current job and it carried over into your business.
Carried over to my life, really, because funny story, it's like 3 years ago, we just stopped buying bologna. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just a jail mentality. And if I could do, like right now, I still take lunch to work. I don't go to the restaurant because it takes away from the money side of what else you could be doing. If I go to the grocery store and make my own lunch, I don't have to spend $20 a day on a meal or whatever, which adds more to business. And right now, I've been the type of person that thirsting for knowledge to do something different, because constantly going to jail, you see the same thing, you see the same people, same ideas, same goals, same mental. I just changed it where I want to be different. Right now, I listen to audiobooks religiously. Maybe I go to work, I work 8 hours, I listen to audiobooks on the way to work, on the way home, at work. And when I get home, I don't even turn on the TV. It's just audiobooks, trying to figure out a way. Because when you got a business, You got to figure out the tax situation. You got to figure out write-offs. You got to figure out a whole lot of stuff other than you just buy some.
Okay. Sorry, you froze up a little bit out there.
Oh, okay.
Um, all right. So, I mean, it's you're taking your, you're taking your experiences and you're carrying it into your life. And sorry, that part you said that you just stopped buying bologna.
Because
What did you mean by that?
when I came back, it was just bologna, bologna, bologna. Every day, like for lunch, we eating sandwiches, which I put my family through. But it seems kind of hard, but it's like just sticking to the script of what I knew or what I was used to.
Oh, so
So
you were eating bologna constantly in jail,
yeah, so you know
and
what I'm
then
saying?
you
Just
found yourself when you were out, you found yourself buying bologna, and
yeah,
then you're like, wait, what am I doing? I'm not in
right,
jail anymore. I'm
right,
free.
right,
Let me stop myself
yeah,
and act like a free person.
yeah. And it just stuck with me for a long time. Like now, it's still, even when we eat dinner, my mama say, "Why you eat so fast? Like you in jail still?" It's just habit.
Mm.
It's just habit. You know what I'm saying? I can't explain it really. It's just going through it so much. It get embedded in you. And to me, mentally, it just helped me to be able to save and figure out what to do with your money other than just spending it on shoes, spending it on jewelry, and I mean, you buy that type of stuff, but it's like you could be frivolously spending money going to work every day, buying lunch, McDonald's, trying you get tired of McDonald's, you trying new restaurants, and before you know it, you've been to spend $1,200 a month just on restaurant food when you can spend the same 1,200 for groceries and eat for however long. It's just a mental thing with me.
And then it's you're saving money, right?
Yeah,
Because you're a business owner now. You can't just be throwing money around. So you're trying to save money. You're trying to be conservative.
yeah, yeah. That's it. Conservative. Yeah, just being conservative, and it's just certain things that you really shouldn't be doing. Just trying to find a way out, and it's hard for somebody to stick to it constantly because running a business is hard, man. Running a business is hard
So why not just, stick it out with your job? Why start a business at all?
because I want more. I mean, like $18, $20 an hour is not really enough to when you got a luxurious mind state, you want more, and certain Nikes ain't cool, certain clothes ain't cool, or when you own a home, nothing is ever uh in the budget because everything costs opposed to renting an apartment where somebody can your toilet stop up and somebody come out and fix your toilet. But if you own a home now, you gotta pay for it, and it's not cheap. Uh, yeah, just want more. You know what I'm saying? Just want more because the job don't pay enough. And coming from me personally, I didn't learn a whole lot to say I can go out and make or get a job and make tens of thousands of dollars. You know what I'm saying? And be okay, comfortable with. I can go buy my wife a Louis Vuitton purse and I don't have to worry about it, or go in debt or whatever. And just learning about credit, and it's a whole lot.
So you wanted to be able to buy your wife and kids the finer things in life?
Um, to be able to buy, like, yeah, nice things, yeah, yeah.
And what's wrong with the simple life?
Nothing wrong with it, really. I mean, because we ate bologna for years, but and that's simple. But you like nice stuff, man. I don't know.
Well, you don't want to live like a prisoner,
Nah, I definitely don't. I
right?
definitely don't.
Because you were, eating the same thing every single day, right?
Yeah.
And I think you now that you're out of prison and you can eat whatever you want, you're like, I don't want to be in a mental prison. I don't want to.
Yeah, it's just
I'm out of jail, so why am I acting like I'm still in jail?
why not try to be a little adventurous? Because it's not much adventure from the jail mentality, and yeah.
So do you find yourself thinking that way with your business, and that I don't want to stick to this one product, I want to do multiple products, right? Because I
And you
because
know what?
you
Another
want to reach out.
another thing that I didn't mention that kept me in this mind frame of staying to the core of it. When I caught the DUI, I was like 2010. My license got revoked in 2010, and just taking a drive, or you know what I'm saying, just being caught without having a license would result in catching a whole new felony. So I had to really figure out how can I really run a business and maneuver without interruption of driving on a revoked license. Is I ain't gonna say like I didn't drive the whole 13 years, but it was strictly business. With if I got a pop up shop, I'm going to a pop up shop and I'm going home. No going out after 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. It was none of that. So I just had to be dedicated to what I was doing to not, because it's easy to when you're a felon, it's easy to catch a case and another case and another case, and you be caught up in the system. And a lot of us don't get a chance to succeed in being free. So it
Mm.
was tough just trying to figure it out, because you get urges to go out and kick it and be with family, and you beg people to come get you and take you, and then you don't like when you there with them and you want to go but you can't, and there's a lot of mental suffering from putting yourself in a position where you have to really think about what am I doing? Why am I going? What am I? What's my purpose? And my
So
purpose,
it's like,
huh?
go ahead. What?
I found my purpose was just to be dad, teacher, understanding, chef, uh, anything that kept me from falling back into the trap, because it's definitely a trap for us black men. Definitely a trap. And once they get you, it's hard. Your life will never be the same.
So it's a trap, and that it's easy to, fall back into the wrong crowd, doing the same things,
Yeah, because
acting the same behaviors.
it's like just a metaphor. It's like I'm a rat, and every time I go around the corner, there's cheese right here, cheese right here, cheese right. I like cheese. I want to get some cheese, but that cheese would cost me my life. You feel me?
Hmm.
It
So you
doesn't
have to
make
know not to eat the cheese, right?
Yeah, you find you find something else to eat.
And how are you dealing with all that?
Um, I'm just living, man. I take in motivation. I take in motivation daily. Like I wake up, I go. I got to be to work at 6 o'clock. I get up at 4, leave here, get to work about 5:30. I listen to motivation, daily bread, uh, motivational videos. Is when you scrolling through social media, you see so much, and you just pick and choose what fits for you. Because I tell my wife and my kids, we are what we eat. If we sit up and watch videos all day or cartoons all day, then we got a cartoon mind state. But if we, you know what I'm saying, feeding ourselves some beneficial stuff, because there's a lot of stuff out there that helps you step up the ladder, kind of, go to the next level. Like being homeowners, you want to listen to people who get what is that, tax exempt, or where you can get certain type of work done for a phenomenal fee. You know what I'm saying? You want to listen to those type of things opposed to just watching videos of people fighting and drinking and doing all type of crazy stuff. So that's what I do. I just feed myself.
And you don't, right? You put the right things in you, the right energy.
Yeah, yeah, because just as you plant, you will grow something. And I want all my seeds that I plant to grow up on fertile ground instead of stony ground.
So you want better for your kids. You want, as your parents wanted better for you, you want better for your kids.
Yeah, you want them to grow and learn and strive and not go through the things you went through. Cause yeah, you don't want them to go through the things you went through. I don't, not me personally. I didn't have a life of we going on a trip, we going camping, and we going to do all this type of stuff. It was tough.
And you're trying to change all that now.
Yes, change the paradigm of like I'm the first at my grandma's house to buy his own house. You know what I mean? I'm the first at my grandma's house of my siblings, my immediate siblings to be married 19 years. I've
Hmm.
influenced a lot of people to get married, sort of say, or stick it out in a relationship and to do better. And, I influence people about certain credit things that I've learned about. Everything I learned, I'd be trying to share it. Cause what's the point of having knowledge and you don't use it?
Mm, of course, of course. And, you've definitely gained a lot of knowledge about the criminal system, about starting a business and how to stay out of the, criminal system and, how to support your family with a limited income. How do you support your family while you're in jail, right? So
Mhm.
it's a lot of different lessons that you had to learn.
Yeah, my wife worked. She worked through this whole time. I met her when she was 18. I was 16. And she been working since I've been knowing her. She the one heavily influenced me to get a job. But coming from the street life mentality, making the money like this, not saying I was
Hmm.
making millions, but you make, what I'm saying, $700-800 a day, and you just blowing money just because you can. And that was one of my hardest transitions from going from a dope boy to an employee and getting a check every week opposed to not getting money every day. So it was a big transition. But she helped me with that. She influenced me to get a credit card when I didn't want to get a credit card because I didn't know anything about it. But once I learned about it and started figuring out more than what she knew, we just started growing and doing all type of stuff, man.
And she held you down, it sounds
Yeah,
like.
yeah, definitely, big time, big time. And when I left for the DUI, and they gave me the 18 months. I did 6 months behind that. We worked, one of the issues that we had was we didn't have access to each other's bank accounts. So when I caught the case, it was like she couldn't even get into my account to come bail me out, which was the dumbest thing in the world. But you never know what you're going through until you really go through it. So it was like one of those experiences. Like came home like we've been married almost 9 years, and why wouldn't we have a joint account? So it just make you question stuff and put stuff in perspective, so to say. But that was one of the issues of a marriage, not having a joint bank account if somebody get locked up, or who looks for somebody to get locked up and you got to bail them out, right?
That's true. That's another lesson learned,
Yeah.
right? Get a joint bank account. All right. Well, we'll start to wind things down now. So, I mean, of course, the topic of the show is resiliency. So, tell us, what does resiliency mean to you?
Resiliency means stand down, stand the course, regardless if you get knocked down, you got to get back up because it's hard out here for us as black people already. We come in the game negative, whatever the number is. But you have to find a way and stick to it and stay focused. And you have to want to do better than what you've seen because, we all grew up. Everybody has a traumatic lifestyle. Not everybody, but some people have traumatic lifestyles where you don't know no better and you can't do no better. But until you learn better, you do better. So resilience is just really stand down and stand focused and setting goals, trying to achieve better things than what you've seen, and figuring out what you like, what you love, and what means something and what is beneficial for the long run. So that's resilience to me.
Beautiful, beautiful. All right. Is there any other words of advice that you'd like to give to to our audience? Any words of wisdom? Parting words of wisdom.
Parting words of wisdom for the youth. Just because you think your mama or your pops don't know what they're talking about, listen, because they've been places you ain't never been, or they've seen some things that you might be getting ready to enter into. Never take for granted that they don't know what they're talking about. Listen and learn. Stay humble and stay focused.
Beautiful. All right. Well, Terrell, thank you so much for coming on Hot Topics, and thank you for telling us your story. Thank you for your words of wisdom, and the fact that you are in a position now in your life where you can tell your story and hopefully touch at least one person. That's all it takes,
That's
to
all it
change
takes. That's
one person, right? So thank you for telling your story, and thank you for coming on Hot Topics.
Thank you for allowing me to share your platform. I appreciate it.
Problem. All right, so it is promo time, so let's get right to it. All right, so Terrell, tell us about your business.
Uh, my business is called Some Fly. My nickname in the neighborhood was Fly, so I just said something fly, which would circumference everything fly to me, and it was just about me. I do apparel, t-shirts, hats, uh, leather jackets, varsity jackets. I ain't got into the shoes yet, but it's mostly apparel, man, and it's a lifestyle. And if you like it, you like it. If you don't, I'm gonna find somebody who will.
All right, and you guys, you can learn more about his business and all that he has to offer. You can go to his website. It is www.sumtinfly.com. That is SUMTINFLY.com. You can follow him on all of his social media. He has two Facebook accounts. So one is Mr. Gotta, period, stay fly. The other one is Something Fly. He's also on Instagram. He has two Instagram accounts. So one of which is Gotta Stay Fly. The other one is Something Fly branded apparel. He is also he has a lot. He has two Twitter accounts as well. It is Mr. I'm trying to see it. Okay. I think I'll wait for it to come up on the screen. But he has two Twitter accounts. He's also on YouTube and he's also on TikTok. So his information is scrolling below at the bottom of the screen. If you are watching this on video, if you are listening to this on a podcast, all of this information is in the description. And I see it now coming up on the screen. So he has two Twitter accounts. Mr. Gotta Stay Fly is one. The other one is Something Fly. He is on TikTok as Something Fly Branded Apparel. He is on YouTube. Oh, wait. Something Fly Branded Apparel 1 is
Mm,
TikTok.
yep.
YouTube is Something Fly Branded Apparel. So I want to make sure I say your contact information. But of course, all of this information will be in the description for my podcast people. For my video people, it is at the bottom of the screen right now. And you can also find it in the description if you are watching this on YouTube. So, however, you are taking in the sound of my voice, right? This information is available to you one way or another. So I encourage you to support Terrell Morgan. Follow him on all his social media accounts. Go to his website, order his t-shirts, order his apparel. It is available to you. All right. So Terrell, thank you again for coming on Hot Topics.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. I'm going to place you backstage now. All right. And you guys, it is just you and me. So, you guys, we have reached the conclusion of yet another episode. Thank you again for watching this episode or for listening. Thank you for taking in all the information. I hope that at least one of you was touched today. So let me just take this moment to remind you that this podcast is a production of my company, A Step Ahead Tutoring Services. So, if you are, as we were talking about elevating yourself and wanting more and wanting change, right? That applies to education as well. So if you're looking for change, if you want more for yourself, if you want better for yourself, you want to achieve more academically, or you're struggling and you want to get out of that funk, right? Hit us up. Hit us up. Our website is www.astepaheadtutoringservices.com. You can also call or text us on numbers 347-762-2838. You can also follow us on our multiple social media platforms. Just search for A Step Ahead Tutoring Services, and we will pop up. Look for the yellow pencil with the gray and black tip. That is our logo, but you could find us on multiple social media platforms. So check us out, follow us on social media. And if you are looking for one-on-one services, if you're looking for test prep, editing and proofreading, any of that, hit us up. Once again, that website is www.astepaheadtutoringservices.com. I also encourage you to leave your feedback about this episode. I want to know your thoughts. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Please leave a comment in the comment section below. And don't forget, leave your comments in the comment section below or in the comment thread. Let me know your thoughts of this episode today. All right, you guys, and that is it. Thank you again for joining me on Hot Topics. I look forward to you joining me at the next episode. Thank you guys again. And now I am signing off. Bye, you guys.